Around 400,000 Minnesotans are preparing for the opening of deer hunting season that starts tomorrow.
Yeah, but for many of them, this might be the last time that they're required to use a shotgun. ABC 6 News reporter Chandler Jackson joins us now live after looking into some of those new regulations coming our way next year. Chandler, what exactly is changing for deer hunters?
Well, Robin, Maisie, starting January 1st, the restrictions that kept much of Minnesota shotgun only for deer hunting for decades are going away. And that leaves a lot of people locally concerned about things like safety and enforcement. Minnesota's shotgun-only restrictions first came about in 1942, covering mostly farmland to the south and west. Many believe the restrictions were introduced for safety reasons, to keep bullets from traveling long distances and hitting someone unintentionally.
I mean, intuitively it makes sense. People are concerned if you have a rifle in your hand and you're shooting deer at great distances, what's that bullet going to do? Is it going to ricochet?
But in fact, it was originally a deer population management tool.
There weren't very many deer in the southern part of the state or in the western part of the state, and deer managers were worried about overharvest. So one way to kind of limit harvest is by managing the hunters by restricting weapons.
Nowadays, the story is different. Deer populations in the shotgun-only zones have been growing steadily over the years, meaning the need to keep hunters from harvesting too many deer doesn't exist anymore. A point the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association was keen to make when they began pushing for the change in legislation.
Rifles are a much more effective way to harvest an animal. And it's really the southern part of the state where we are trying to lower the deer population. So allowing hunters to use a rifle will help with those population goals as well.
Minnesota isn't the first to make this kind of change. In 2013, Wisconsin changed its laws to allow rifle use statewide, and since then has not seen any increase in the number of shooting incidents. And those that exist in either state are largely due to careless handling or violating hunting rules.
Rarely is it ever someone getting accidentally shot that's not in the immediate vicinity, and that just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But that doesn't change how some people feel about using high-powered rifles near populated areas. Olmsted County was a leader in opposing the legislative change.
In the proximity of especially Rochester and the suburban subdivisions that surround Rochester, largely wooded, the idea of having high-powered rifles used in these areas was just not something that was acceptable to us.
A carve-out in the new law will allow individual counties that were previously shotgun only to keep the restriction in place if they want. But there's a catch there as well.
When you register a deer, you say what DPA you're in, and that is based off habitat. We don't manage based off counties. So if we do get this kind of patchwork of counties that allow rifles and don't allow rifles, enforcing the law on that is going to be challenging, and it's also going to be difficult for hunters to kind of follow along as well.
Now, I need to emphasize these changes are not taking place until next year. The shotgun-only restriction is still going into effect for tomorrow, the weekend, and through the rest of the season. But hunters should be aware of what their county may decide to do when it comes up again next fall. Live in Rochester, Chandler Jackson, ABC 6 News.